Things have unfolded rather rapidly recently, or as recent as things can be involving time travel. The Envoy, the mysterious figure that has been arming and recruiting factions throughout the Temporal Cold War, has revealed themselves as Noi, a Krenim researcher who we worked with to end the Iconian War. I'd like to think that this was a problem that we could address ourselves, one of our own making, but his actions have seen him alter the course of history by disrupting the temporal accords and making repeated attacks at key points, all with an aim to destabilise the alliance that eventually led to the Accords. His Temporal Liberation Front now makes a move at Procyon V. This is the system where the Sphere Builders, the Tutarians, are attempting to return to our space with Noi's help. We saw this event in Enterprise, but Noi's alterations have shifted how things play out this time. As we learned from Daniels, Procyon V has been the site of many temporal battles, regardless of changes around the timeline. Because of this, we're effectively heading into the complete unknown. With Daniels dead at the hands of the Liberation Front, we receive word from another of his picked temporal agents, one we have worked with back in 2270, Captain Pavel Chekhov.
Noi and his allies have engaged Alliance forces at Procyon V in the 26th century. Your work at New Khitomer allowed us to summon our ships to the battle, but they may not arrive in time. The combined power of the enemy fleet may be more than we can handle. Join the Alliance fleet as soon as you can. We must face the enemy and we must win, or all of history will be lost.
So we set a course for the infamous battle to see if we can halt Noi's tampering. Because of all the temporal machinations, it's fair to say that by now Star Trek Online is probably its own splintered timeline, but nevertheless it's the one we're in, so it's the one we're going to fix. Procyon V, as it stands now, is a relatively safe system, within the same sector block as Andoria and one of its closest neighbours. In fact, during early Andorian warp exploration, they visited this system first and found a Class O water planet here. It's a different story in the future, however.
Time is short, my friends, so I'll make this quick. The battle is not going well for us. We have already lost Daniels. We're outnumbered and outgunned. Our plan relies on the Tox Utat. With it, we can destabilize the Expanse and force the Sphere Builders to withdraw. There's only one ship with the power to use the Tox Utat effectively, the Enterprise. She must survive at all costs. Today we're fighting for the past, present, and future. So fight hard, and fight well. Dismissed.
We enter into a realm of space unseen in our universe since the Delphic Expanse in 2154. It was making it uninhabitable to most life. During this battle, Daniels actually brings Archer aboard the Enterprise J to view the full extent of the Sphere Builders' efforts, which had gone unimpeded since 2154 to encompass most Alliance space. In the battle, we actually see a Dauntless-class vessel, a Prometheus, a Nova-class, and several Klingon ships. They may seem a little out of place, but that's because they're here as part of our recruited task force. Alongside this is a 26th century Paladin class, a native of this time, and two Eternal class timeships from the 29th century. The Expanse's anomalous effects are constantly barraging our shields, slowing down its regen on them, so we're going to be making a lot of hit and runs here. Nulia points out that life support is already struggling, and soon the radiation will overpower all our vessels, while Tarsi notes that the Enterprise J is already in combat.
We're more than just the cavalry. We have the means to put an end to this whole conflict. The Tax, Uthat. All ships. This is Chekhov. Protect the Enterprise at all costs.
Alright, form up. Let's move in.
We must get the Tax Uthat to the Enterprise. Here they come!
Our arrival is soon intercepted by sphere builder vessels, but our opening salvo breaks them down quickly enough. Our target is the Enterprise J, and we're carrying the stellar manipulator recovered from the Federation vault.
All ships, defend the Enterprise at all costs. Venom ships on intercept course. Weapons hot.
All about us the battle rages, with 26th century forces engaged with the TLF, but this is effectively an eternal battlefield, the front of the Temporal War, with forces always converging here. The Krenim ships pull away from their task to halt us too, and these prove a little more challenging as they definitely slow us down.
Must reach the Enterprise. They're almost there. Terran ships ahead. They're trying to intercept us.
You're a little late to the party. Too late, in fact. Terran forces, this is the Admiral. Give them no quarter. Onward to victory. For the Empire!
We're not late, we're the reinforcements. These Krenim and Terran vessels prove that this is the same time fleets that we just encountered at New Kittimer, the one we failed to pursue. The large profile of the Universe-class Enterprise J dwarfs the other ships around it. Even the Odyssey-class Armiger pales in comparison, but we can see the swarming Terran ships hounding the vessel like a pack of wolves.
Mayday! Mayday! Our course about to breach!
Facing off against the Federation flagship is the Terran Enterprise F, and while the J is far more powerful, it has been weathering this storm for some time.
Four-gun ships inbound. They're lacking weapons.
It is also equipped with a very powerful gravitic
All
lance.
ships, defend the Enterprise at all costs. Terran ships are attacking the Enterprise.
We spend a long time defending the vessel, and we do have to pull back several times to repair. I think the Armed is going to need a stint in space dock when this is over.
Command, we're moving to defend Enterprise.
It's been said that the Galaxy class was named after its field of operation. It was designed to explore the galaxy, defend it, and host diplomatic endeavours of all its inhabitants. So the mind boggles to think what the Universe class was named for. Unsurprising then that it is designed as practically being a mobile starbase and has incredible energy and repair reserves. It's probably for this reason it's lasted as long as it has already.
Leading boarding parties on Enterprise. Multiple decks. All ships, defend the Enterprise at all costs.
Engaging hostiles, Command. Weapons hot!
Not only the Vorgons, but now the Nakul have entered the fray as well. Now we're fighting the combined forces of the Sphere Builders, the primary antagonists, as well as the TLF, and they've done much to whittle down our allies. The Armiger itself has sustained critical damage and exploded once, but that's not narratively relevant. Although here we managed to recover from our catastrophic hull breaches by pulling away, remodulating the shields, and punching every repair function we have.
We've done it. Find a suitable location and I will beam down with you.
While the Enterprise J trades blows with the Terran forces and Sphere Builder ships that still harass the vessel, an opening in its shields has allowed a Mirror Universe boarding party aboard, so we'll have to take care of that as well as install the Toxitut. Tarsi locates the beam-in near engineering on the J, and I turn over command of the Armiger to her as we coordinate our away teams with Chekhov. The Tsar confirms Terran forces on board and our initial response teams are already in combat with them. Let's join the fray then. Suppressing fire! Idiotically, the Terrans decide to rush our position, but that might have something to do with the fact that we set fire to their old one. When the greeting parties finally failed, we sweep up the corridor, only to hear an announcement from the ship's captain.
Captain Dax to all hands. Brace for impact.
Captain Dax, huh? Well, symbiotes do live a very long time. The shuddering hull is a solid reminder that there is a continuing battle going on outside.
Captain Dax to all hands. Brace for impact.
Sounds like another wave's probably arrived.
Yes, let me contact command on this. Wait! My transponder's missing.
Wait, your temporal transponder? Who's this?
Did someone call for a miracle worker then?
Scotty?
Why has he got your temporal transponder?
That would be this wee temporal beacon. Once activated, it brought me here. Somehow.
Bullshit mo...
I've been holding onto that beacon for many a year, waiting for a signal. Better late than never, I suppose. Where and when are we, if you don't mind me asking?
Huh? Enterprise J, 26th century.
Oh, aye. Judging by the sounds of things, I'd say we're the kind of trouble the Enterprise is getting into regularly. Am I right?
Yeah?
Well, we better get to it then. Wouldn't want to let a fine lady like this down, would we?
I'm sorry, how are you not freaking out right now? So, this seems a bit out of nowhere, but all the way back in episode 4 of this series, this happened during our mission to ensure the Babel conference.
What happened here? It could damage the timeline irreparably. Besides, I'm captain now, so I technically outrank you.
All right, lad. I'll take you at your word. Once you're ready, I'll send you and that bomb over. Good luck to you. Energizing. Now, what's this? Quite the ship, this Enterprise.
Wait until you see her on the outside.
So, he's held onto that beacon, kept it hidden all this time and away from prying eyes to prevent it altering the timeline, but when activated again, just now, it gave Captain Scott here an emergency trip to Chekhov.
Are we in some sort of nebula?
Verse. And if we don't stop it, we're all done for.
Judging from Scott's uniform, this is him post-Genolan Sphere incident. Funnily enough, there he skipped some time in Transporter Stasis 2, emerging in 2369. So while not a temporal agent himself, currently the majority of this away team consists of 23rd century individuals.
More borders!
Hello there. We find an engineering room of some description. The tech here is different, but not too dissimilar from 25th century designs. We should be fine. We check in with Chekhov to see what it is we're exactly supposed to do with the Toxutat.
Alright, we need to integrate the Tox Utat into the primary power network of the Enterprise. Scotty, I could use a hand here.
Captain Scott, I know you've got a reputation, but do you think you can handle this tech?
Oh, I think I'll manage. We'll get this gadget of yours hooked up in no time.
If you say so, let's get started.
Alright, we need to reconfigure these consoles to work the Tox Utat.
Why do I feel like this is too easy?
Incoming! Keep working, Scotty!
Ah, there it is. Terran forces converge on our location. I can only assume that they've already dispatched the Enterprise J's security teams, as we've seen no sign of their crew.
Keep your head down over there.
Consoles realigned. Now activate them so we can put them to use. I wrote this warp protocol. They're still using it.
Yeah. Technology is a ladder. We're a little busy right now.
We'll realign the consoles. Watch out for our friends from the Terran Empire. Behind you! These Terrans don't give up, do they? The same. So let's get this done quickly, Scotty.
While Scotty and Chekhov work on integrating the Toxutat, we fend off more Terran soldiers with every trick in our playbook.
Aye, let's deploy the core integration chamber and wrap this up.
Gladly, our medic was downed in that fight.
Hopefully we won't get any more uninvited guests.
Oh, why'd you say that? We're bound to get some now.
See, he gets how this works. Okay, gents, let me just finish reconfiguring this, then we can all go get a drink, eh?
Nice try, but you're done here. Oh, none of you look like the beg for mercy type, so let's just skip to your execution, shall we?
We'll table the drinks for now.
You are right, Scotty. Unfortunately.
Aye, let's deal with this angry lass and her band of thugs.
Hear that, Lita? You're an angry lass. Get help.
Lass? Ooh, I like you. Take the Scotsman alive. Kill the rest.
She fights like a Klingon.
She what's like a Klingon? Oh, fights. Yes.
The Haggis is in the fire, for sure.
The battle with Lita takes some time and she constantly calls in reinforcements from behind her, but the closed-in space makes it rather easy to be flanked by their aggressive tactics. But deal enough damage to her and she eventually calls it quits.
I've had more than enough of this.
Terran forces, this is the Admiral. We're leaving. Now!
Good luck with your fool's errand, Noi. You'll need it.
Lita's shot sent a power surge through the command relays. They're offline, but Scotty and I can get them running again. We just need the time.
I'll be more useful on my ship.
Losing the Terran fleet won't make Noi happy. He'll send every ship he has at the Enterprise. You need to keep her safe while we finish the job here.
Understood. Good luck, gentlemen. I'll buy you all the time I can. We return back to the Armiger while Chekhov informs the rest of the fleet as to the plan.
Scotty and I need more time. Protect the...
Where can we be of assistance, Command?
They're coming in from 3 o'clock.
Sounds like things are as busy as ever out here then.
We've got your back!
We engage the Sphere Builders, who are continuing their assault on the Enterprise, but Chekhov's right. It's only a matter of time before Noi responds to the Terran Empire's abandonment with a desperate push with what forces he has left. He's not going to retreat after all. The Sphere Builder ships possess an annoying weapon that disorientates you by altering your position and course by a few hundred meters, teleporting you around. Kind of frustrating to deal with. Our aim is to simply fend off waves upon waves of enemy ships, 3 to be exact, but it's no easy task. By now our fleet is beaten and bruised, and Enterprise J is occupied with tying in the Expanse NV Toxic Tut with its gravitonic lance system. The weapons fire from that thing should collapse the sphere at a quantum level, as it does with suns. Created as a stellar manipulator, this is the kind of firepower that the device is capable of, altering things on such a level. Not a simple star-collapsing beam, but something way more diverse.
More enemy forces incoming.
From 12 o'clock.
With the Sphere Builders' assault weathered, a new threat approaches. Cool.
Command, the USS Tempest is at your disposal. The USS stands ready, Command. We've got your back. Mayday! Mayday! Our course about to breach.
However, it looks like the Enterprise isn't just a sitting duck, as it does get off a shot or two. During the battle, the Nakul deploy their familiar plasma burst, which we keep aimed well away from the J. After all, it's a slow behemoth, unable to dodge the damaging wave.
Enemy forces headed for our position. Hold them off!
More Sphere Builders arrive. Can't blame them, after all, they're turning this into their home turf.
More Our ships are attacking.
They're coming in from 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock from the Enterprise J's position. That would put them... Oh crap.
Engaging the enemy for the glory.
We've lost main power. Shields collapsing. We're...
More of Noy's forces have arrived. They're almost done. Mr. Scott needs just a little more time. Hold out for just a moment longer.
The armature begins to vent plasma. Thing is, I can't be sure if it was in order to vent it or if it's due to damage. Either way, those sealed hull breaches have reopened and my vessel is close to structural collapse. The Expanse's whittling effect on our systems makes for a very slow recovery, and being spun around by the sphere builders really doesn't help. Our allies aren't faring much better either. I think I just lost the Tempest.
Structural integrity compromised. Repeat. Mayday! Mayday! Our course about to breach.
Well, the good news is our distracting the sphere builders has certainly worked. They're not attacking the Enterprise J, but oh man are they hitting us. I hate to admit it, but this is more dire than the Battle of Sol during the Iconium War. At least there we had a plan. This is just a desperate push. During a flyby of the Enterprise J, we get to see its once pristine hull is mottled by scorch marks and breakages. Even with our attempts at defence, it's taken quite a beating too. We draw the attention of a sphere builder battleship while we're in dire straits, but our wingman, an Eternal class vessel, shunts it away with a tractor beam at high impulse. Thanks for the assist.
As ready as we'll ever be. Just give the word.
By all means, Captain Scott, fire the bloody thing.
Working! That's what happens to disrupting the Expanse! There go the spear builders too, and good riddance.
You have no idea, Mr. Scott.
This isn't over. I have all the time I need to find the path to victory.
That was Noy's open broadcast to our fleet. Chekhov's hailing us.
He's going to run. He's done it many times before. Disable the anorex if you can, and take Noy alive. He should answer for his crimes.
Damn him. And damn him. Noy's forces form a perimeter between us and the Anoraks, the timeship we helped build. But now is his reckoning, and we will not let him escape because he's right. If he slips away here, as he has done before, he'll just jump to a secluded time and rebuild and come back straight away. Procyon V is a never-changing hotspot for temporal conflicts, but in this instance, it ends today.
Thanks for the save. Following your lead.
Without the Expanse crippling our systems, we're able to restore much of the damaged power and reinitialize our shield grid. What forces we have left are battle-weary, but we have our second wind. There are multiple other vessels that were formerly engaged with the sphere builders throughout the system, but now they're finding themselves free to form up with us as we take care of the remnant ships. But we need to hurry. Even now we can see the beam from the Anoraks as it attempts to open a temporal gate. Our fleet bolstered, and Noye's depleted, the battle with the Anoraks begins. It is an incredibly powerful vessel, but as we saw with the Enterprise J, might isn't everything, and pack tactics work. The minute the shields go down, the vessel's rendered inert, and we beam over to finish this in person. Temet detects high levels of Chronoton energy and it is unstable. The damage it has sustained has done its job and crippled it, but we need to shut down the temporal drive to be certain he can't flee. Fortunately, we're not that far away. After dealing with a brief security team, we enter the bridge and secure that too. The sounds of warning echo through the defeated vessel, but no evacuation has been ordered. Although now we have secured the bridge, we can get a better picture of the situation and try to disable the temporal drive from here.
Sorry I could not greet you properly on the bridge. I'm afraid I had more pressing matters to tend to elsewhere. Rest assured, I'll be dealing with you and your thugs soon enough.
We could try to talk him down or goad him, but honestly he's kinda too far gone and his mind is made up, so we just tell him this will not end well for you. We're unable to shut down the drive from here. Looks like he's rerouted control to the temporal core. But as Temet points out, as unstable as the ship is right now, if he tries to activate anything, it will explode, releasing huge amounts of temporal energy across the quadrant. We have to fight our way to the core room, but Noi must be stopped. It's a shame, because I respected the man he was. As gruff as he could be, I liked him. Driven by a loss he can't even fully comprehend, he comes from a place I can understand but can't condone. What he's attempting to do, destroy the temporal accords to allow unregulated time travel, can just lead to a complete mess. Just look at what's happening now as an example, as a small fraction of what could be if he gets his way. But he could bring back the Tutarians if he did, and he promises the other factions a bright future sculpted by their own hand. But the problem is, many people's ideas of an ideal future are just incompatible. All we can do is the best we can, preserve the one that we have. Imperfect, but better than this.
I suppose this was inevitable. So be it. It's time. Time I put an end to this charade, and to you. I will deal with you myself.
From the upper balcony, where he is attempting to initialize another jump he attacks, he can call in Krenin soldiers to defend him while he works on the system, and hides behind a force field, lowering it only to buy time for more of his forces to arrive. It's during these points where he is vulnerable.
Handle them. I must bring the temporal core back online. Fine. I'll deal with you myself.
Although he's not the only one that can beam in reinforcements.
Guards, kill them, now! I will end you once and for all!
Noye's shields are pretty robust, and during the last fight the skirmish spills downstairs. But eventually he is stunned and we take out the last of his security forces.
And so, it ends. Finish your bloody work, then. Send me to join Claudia in Oblivion, as you sent the Tutarians and so many others. Kill me, if you have the stomach for it.
I guess I don't have the stomach for it, because you're under arrest for multiple violations of the Temporal Accords. Treason, attempted murder, sabotage, the list goes on.
This won't end with me. Others are out there, watching. They see your tyranny, and they'll rise up, just as I did. Your time will come. Pity I won't be there to see it.
Yeah, and we'll stop them too. Beam him to the brig. In another time we were friends. Right, let's stop this ship from exploding.
Sorry I'm late.
Daniels, but you...
Dead? I was, in a manner of speaking. Stopping Noi altered the timeline in a number of ways, including one where I lived.
Noi is done, but his allies are still out there. Any of them could try to take Procyon again, so we'll need to stay vigilant. And so, for now, this is goodbye.
Good to see you again, my friend.
Well, Scotty, let's get you back to the 24th century.
Do you mind a quick stop in the 23rd first? I'd like to see the Enterprise. Our Enterprise. One last time.
I think that can be arranged, old friend. 2 to beam up.
What a mess.
It's good to know they're out there. People who come through in the end. People like you. What you did today will remain secret. No parades, no celebrations. Still, there's comfort in knowing the timeline's secure. Take pride in that. On behalf of myself and the countless others you've saved today, thank you.
Well done. With your help, we were able to stop Noi and preserve the timeline. I am proud to have worked with you, my friend. Do svidaniya.
With the mission concluded, it feels like years have passed in pursuit of the Envoy. In the linear timeline of 2410, it's been a month, if that, since the end of the Iconian War. Noi's grief led him down a very dark path of dangerous thinking that won him like-minded allies, but the thing is, many of those in the Temporal Liberation Front were ousted by us and our actions. It's difficult to remind ourselves that we did the right thing at times, but I think we did. It's easy to just play Star Trek Online and just think of yourselves as the big heroes of the whole thing. You're certainly treated as such by everyone else, but if you really think about it, yeah, it's a complicated mess. Perhaps Hale needs to step away for a time, to go back to home. Perhaps Hale needs to step away for a time, go back home for a while, just while the Armiger is being repaired, and take some leave. I think he's earned it. This concludes the Temporal War arc of Star Trek Online, an event Hale was destined to take part in ever since Timot Danlan, Daniels' his real name, recruited him into. Originally, Hale was meant to have perished in 2270 at the Battle of Caleb, but because of Daniels' alteration, look at everything that's happened. Or perhaps this was all fate to begin with anyway. Either way, 100 episodes later, here we stand, and thank you ever so much for being there along every step of the journey with the crew of the Armiger, as we continue to explore the ever-expanding narrative of Star Trek Online. The story does continue, so will the story series. But for now, thank you for watching, and until episode 101, I'll see you next time. If this outro sounds a little rushed, it's because it's unscripted, because I wanted it to sound genuine, so sincerely, thank you for watching all of this. It is an effort to do, but I'm glad to do it if you enjoy it. So, until then, thanks, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.